Okay, just a quick video on all the books I read during lockdown. Okay, let's start with the one I'm currently reading. It's called Deep Work by Carl Newport. A very good book. It's about working deeply. Wow, deep work is about working deeply. Okay, it's about avoiding distraction and accumulating a continuous period of focused time for doing a particular work. So really good book. Next, this is more of fiction book, I guess. The Alchemist. It is very famous among a lot of people, but it was a tad bit overrated in my opinion. It's good, but it's not as good as people say. Next, your typical self-help book, Think and Grow Rich. Now a lot of people might be reading this book to know the step-by-step guidelines on how to be rich, but this book is more about mindset, not the actual steps. The actual steps come from the real world, where you go and create something of value to get money in return, but use this book to create a good mindset for reading. Next, another good book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This was the book that I reread during this lockdown, and it's worth it, guys. Now I can't give you all the tips, and by the way, unlike this book actually gives you some tips and real life examples which you could just read and apply right away. So there's a lot of things that could be talked about this book, but right now let's just end it. It's a good book, you should read this. Next is a controversial book in my opinion, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I'm just gonna say this. What you might have in your mind, the idea of this book might not be actually what this book is. Okay, what the fuck did I say? Just let me sit a second. Okay, take two. The idea that you have in your mind about this book may not actually be the reality when you actually read this book. So just keep that in mind. But I think it's worth a read for once, but I don't think it's something that you should just okay, I need to cut that part out. Okay, let's go again. Take three. So just when take four. This book is take five. Fuck. Okay, let me say this. The idea that you have about this book may not actually be the reality when you read this book. Let me just end it at that. But regardless of that, I think it's worth a read for one time. Next, by far one of my favorite books, The 4 Hour Work Week. I've read this couple of times, and still till today, this is one of the best non-fiction books I've ever read. A close second might be Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I don't have right now, but this was a very good book. It does give you the blueprint to live the 4 hour lifestyle, but there are a lot of complications connected with it, but they are real. There's no fluff or bullshit in this book, even though the way author writes this book might make you feel that he's a jerk, but he is not, because I've read a lot of his blogs and heard a lot of his podcasts. He's quite good and chill guy. But remember guys, this book was written almost 14 years ago, so of course people change in that span of time. Next, the 80-20 principle. No, that one. See, a quick story about this book. When I bought this book, I thought I bought the 80-20 principle, classic Richard Koch book, but when I came home and checked my bag, it was actually 80-20 Your Life. But regardless of that, this is a good book as well. It is okay. If I had to use one word to describe this book, it would be minimalism. That's right. Next, your classic self-help book, Robin Sharma's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And guys, it's actually a collector's edition audiobook read by the author. It's towards the end, but who uses DVD in today's day and age, guys? But the book was fine. It was good. The self-help portion was not that great, but the fiction or the story was good. This is the last book on our list. I'm gonna be honest guys, I've not fully read this book, but so far it's been a bit complicated, even though you can understand things, but reading this book requires a lot of patience and a lot of time. So that was my video for today, guys, and hopefully next time around I'll put in more effort and have something planned. Okay, bye.